fucking Bioshock Infinite. I'm your host, Shiggy. Welcome back to another episode of Weird Ass Game Plots. Today we are talking about something that could easily be confusing as balls. That being Bioshock Infinite. Now, as you are Booker DeWitt being taken to this little lighthouse on the way to find Elizabeth, you are told to bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. Now, you hop into this like little rocket ship seating thing, and you're shot up in the sky to Columbia. You then land on there, and you're walking through the city, and as you can see from the inhabitants and who lives there, it is 1912. How it's up in the sky, and it's 1912, and that's already a clusterfuck in this whole game. Right off the bat. They kick you right in the dick with the weirdest shit ever. So then you are going along, and then you get to this part where you have to decide to hit these people with the ball or not, and you go to throw it, and then they realize on your hand that it says AD on it, which means you are the false shepherd, and you are royally fucked after that. Because the whole town goes hostile, and they want to kill you, and they want your head on a stick. They want you dead, they want you murdered, they want you gone. So now, after that happens, you then go through the town killing people with the I call it the track runner. I don't know what its actual name is because I'm dumb. but after that you get to Elizabeth's tower. You then make it all the way to the top after hitting these buttons and seeing that they have been watching her through like experiments and all that stuff, watching to make sure she's not doing nothing dumb. And then you get to the top, and then you rescue her, but then the songbird comes, and you have to go through the whole tower again as it's crumbling and being exploded, and boom, bang, bang. And then you fly out of there, and then you come back to Columbia. You come crashing out of Columbia, if I might say. And then after such what happens, you then take an airship to You take an airship and you're telling her you're taking her back to Paris. Which you're taking her to New York, she finds out and she gets pissed and she knocks your ass out. Now, when this happens, your airship is then taken over by Daisy Fitzroy, which she says she will help you get her back and help you take down Comstock if you can supply the Vox Populi with a whole bunch of weapons and all this good jazz. You then have to get these things called vigors. You already had one in the beginning of the game, which is the Devil's Kiss, and you get other ones along the way, such as the scarecrow flying one, and then you also get other such vigors. But the one you need most is a shock jockey, and who has it? Your best buddy Slate. Who's Slate, you ask? Well, the gamer has no idea, but it will tell you throughout the little walk down the Hall of Heroes. Now, being said, you go through that, you have to go through all these shock jockey traps and kill all these soldiers that Slate has with him to protect him. And you go through all the past, and Slate tells you that you were in the war with him, that Comstock doesn't know shit about friggin' fighting in the war, but he'll know today. And then after such things, then you go and fight through a bunch of like onslaught of enemies until you get to the point where you actually fight Slate himself, and it's really quick. It's just a big couple bullets and the dude's dead. So then after that, you go up to him and he says, "Finish it, soldier, do it." So then he gives you the gun, and you can either kill him, which is what he wants, or two, save him, which means he'll be tortured or thrown in the jail cell, whatever the hell. If you do not kill him, he looks at you and says, "You're a tin man now! You're a tin man!" So after which you get the shock jockey, and you get the power to electrify things, as you would know in Bioshock 1 and 2. Then after which, you then go back onto the assault to get the weapons for the Vox Populi. Which then you go to the gunsmith, and you realize that the dude is dead. They got to him, and they mutilated him and killed him. Everything. But there is a small little light flickering above his head, which then Elizabeth tells you that she can make tears. Which is fabulous, because it helps you with so much shit. Anyway, you then get you then go through the timeline like 3 fucking times to get the weapons dealers back, and then finally with the last one you figure out how to supply the Vox Populi. You then come back and realize that the Vox Populi are a bunch of cocksucking assholes, and they are going to murder everybody in Columbia, including you, because you are a traitor, according to Daisy Fitzroy. Which she wanted you to help you before, but now she doesn't. Because you're with Comstock, but you're not. I don't know. See, it's already clusterfuck. Anyway, back in. You then go to chase after Comstock some more while fighting the Vox Populi and Comstock's guys. You then have to face off against Elizabeth's mother, where she's dead in the coffin type glass thing, whatever you want to call it. But then Comstock brings her back to life in the form of like this harpy, like vixen, death looking reaper thing, and then you have to follow her as she summons skeletons or revamps the dead back from you killing them. You go through 3 stages with her. You then finally kill her ass to the point where she listens to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth tells her that Comstock's an asshole and he lied and all this other jazz and bullshit. So then after that, she goes back to rest, and then you can finally go after Comstock on your way to Comstock House. So then after that, after all more fighting and more plot, you get to the point where Songbird is there again as you like trying to save Elizabeth, and Songbird goes to kill you actually with the spikes, and she stops it. She then hops in its hand and flies off with it. You then have to chase after her, which you had no idea where she would go, but then all of a sudden, bam, you're in Comstock House. It's all snowing, and it's July. It looks deader than shit, and it's quiet and decrepit and abandoned and weird looking. So anyway, you go in there, and then after this happens, you go inside and you hear Elizabeth screaming, but you don't know where she's at. So then you meet the most terrifying thing, I think, in this game, which is the Boy of Silence. And it's this little kid that has like this contraption on its head, has 2 like speakers, and its eyes are closed. Or no, its eyes spit the light out. And if you hit the light, this damn thing screams, an ear-piercing scream, and summons these like Washington little figurine little shitheads that run out to you and start like beating your ass. Now this place has no ammo. None. If you run out of ammo, you're plainly fucked, but you can use assault, like bash damage to kill these things. Thank God they don't take hits. Well, so then after that, you make it through to the top, you get all the way to the top, and you see they have Elizabeth like in the siphon that those asshole twins made. And then you go through and fighting the guys and destroy the machine. You then realize that that kick you to way the hell in the future, and you see old Elizabeth, and the frickin' whole Columbia is on fire. The Vox Populi had taken over, and everything's on fire. So then she tells you that you can actually control the Songbird. She teaches you the song that can control him, and she gives you the little flute thingy that controls it. So you get that, and she sends you back to 1912. Now, after which you save Elizabeth, pull the siphon out of her back, and then you then talk to her about what's going on, what happened. So then after which you then commandeer another airship. Go follow Comstock. You then go through this little Eden-looking place. It's all nice and pretty and lights and looks like fondly like heaven. So you go through there and you meet Comstock, and he tells you to tell Elizabeth how she lost her pinky and how you two are related and blah blah blah. Them two start arguing, and Booker beats the fuck out of him. He takes his head, bashes him into like the baptizing thing, and then drowns his ass in it. So after which you start bleeding again, and you realize after which such time that somehow you and Comstock are slightly related. The game hasn't told you how yet, but if you've read and listened to most of the stuff, you would understand. Anyway, you then go through that, and then you go out onto Comstock's airship, and then that's where the Vox Populi send every goddamn thing they can at you. They send the Patriot robots, they send their minions, and these blimps come in on each side. You have to then send the Songbird to dive bomb onto these planes or blimps and destroy them. And then after which you then once you finish off that, the songbird then goes and tries to kill you again, which then Elizabeth opens a tear, sending you to Rapture. Yeah, I said Rapture. So somehow those two goddamn things are connected, which then the songbird can't withstand a lot of pressure and his eye blows out and he freaking dies. So then after which you then go through different doors, which then go to other doors, and Elizabeth tells you that there's many different doors of like the past selves and yourself now, and this self and this other self and this shit and that other shit. So then you go through like 5 different doors, and then you end up finally back to Columbia, but there's like 5 Elizabeths, and they tell you the only way to end this is to like somewhat drown yourself or baptize yourself. You find out you're actually Comstock. You're like an older version of Comstock, which is Elizabeth's dad, because it shows like a flashback where they took her and a tear ripped her pinky off. That's why she doesn't have it anymore. And you're her dad. You're her younger dad, but Comstock is her real dad, which is you. See what I mean? Bioshock's fucked up and wrecked. So after which they then baptized you, but actually drowned you, and they say bring a scroll like with that, and they start evaporating and disappearing. You then die, I would say, because the screen goes to black, and then you're in this room and you yell out to Anna to open the door, and then you open the door and it goes dark, and that's how it ends. And you win. This game is the most clusterfuck thing I've ever seen in my life. That's all there is to it.